Good evening and a very warm welcome to all the people attending this Fireside Chat today. Finding the North Star in your data science career, a Tredence Unplugged series. We'll usually look for a North Star when we feel lost in our journey. Similarly, the field of data science, evolving from building mere algorithms to currently becoming the key aspect of enterprises' decision-making process, is now creating world of limitless possibilities. This has made it critical for data science and analytics aspirants, enthusiasts, as well as working professionals to find the true North Star in their data science career. Tredence, which has recently been recognized as the dark horse of the analytics and AI industry, and has also been one of the top 50 best firms in India for data scientists to work for in 2021, with its core competencies in business analytics, data science, and data engineering, is becoming the hotspot of data scientists to chase their true North Stars. For today's session, we have an esteemed panel of speakers. Soumendra Mohanty, the Chief Operating and Chief Innovation Officer at Tredence. He has a career spanning over 25 years where he has held various leadership roles. At Tredence, he is responsible for leading key growth portfolios, bringing world-class capabilities, building innovative solutions, and driving transformation for his clients. He has also established a wide range of digital and data analytics capabilities and an enviable client-centric innovation culture to solve problems. Along with him, we have Saurabh Upadhyay, the Chief People Officer at Tredence. He has a career spanning over 23 years in various aspects of human resources, including people strategy, talent acquisition, performance, and leadership development. He is also a certified coach and has been recognized for mentoring multiple senior and mid-level leaders to grow personally and professionally. Today, Soumendra and Saurabh and I are going to discuss Tredence's innovation, growth, and latest offerings, along with its unconventional approach to talent acquisition, its hiring process, its diverse work culture, and the upskilling opportunities it provides its employees. The discussion will be followed by a quick rapid fire round with both of them, so stay tuned for that. Soum and Saurabh will also be taking up audience questions, so please drop them on the Q&A tab or on the chat box. So without any further delay, I would like to welcome Soumendra and Saurabh to this fireside chat.
Thank you, Sujati. Thank you, Analytics India Mag, for this wonderful platform. Very privileged to be here and talking to all of you.
Same here, Sujati. Thank you for the opportunity. Absolutely privileged to be part of this session and to be talking to an esteemed audience. Thanks for the opportunity.
Welcome once again to both of you. So we would not waste much time. I will quickly delve into the questions. Soumendra, before we understand how Tredence has transformed over the years, we would quickly like to understand your journey in this analytics space, being part of such big organizations like Accenture, Mindtree, L&T, and now Tredence.
Well, it is rather unconventional for me. Like everybody else, I grew up with many of these large enterprises, but the only interesting factor there and the most compelling factor was changing roles and taking up responsibilities which either were adjacency to what I was doing or something I've never done before. So I played a project lead role, a hands-on data scientist role. I played practice leadership role, business leadership role, organizational change management role. And it is all about client and it is all about people. That's the only way we can reinvent ourselves every other year. And on the way, I picked up many skills. And I started as a database guy, the backend guy, right? A lot of PL SQL, a lot of coding and all. Got into programming quite a bit. And then data warehousing, then your visualizations, the KPIs, dashboards, and tools that people use. from there to analytics and AI, and that is how the journey is. You just cannot be unidimensional and stick to one kind of a skill set. You have to have a multidimensional approach, and that is all the more important to data science because solving a problem is core to data science. And if you are not having a pervasive view, an all-round view of business, data, technology, programming, and the end user is going to use your solutions and how it is going to change their life or business outcomes, then you're not doing data science. So that's why I said it is very interesting and very compelling as my journey.
Correct, Shom. Very, very rightly pointed out about not being unidimensional in the current era. So, with your 25 years of expertise in this data and analytics field, how do you think the field has evolved, or what is currently the growth potential of data science in India if you compare it with the global market?
Well, it has evolved a lot. I remember almost 20 years back almost, analytics or data science were not the words used so prevalently as we use it today. And it was all about measuring the business metrics and KPIs, doing some really, really tough coding modules and designs using SAS as the software. That was the only thing at that time. Becoming a really good Excel, I would say, jockey, right, where you can match and merge and do certain analysis of data that comes in and all that. And from that 15-year, 20-year back to today, where we have got the ability, the technology has evolved so much that we have got the ability to look at petabytes of data, parallel way of running things, massively distributed compute, and on top of it, very, very powerful algorithms, right? The libraries of algorithms through whether it is Scikit or whether it is Keras or the TensorFlows and you name it. So it has evolved a lot. It has actually made data science, analytics, and to a larger extent AI problem solving a bit of a, I would say, tools oriented. And this evolution also brings certain pros and cons with it. The cons is people jump into a problem solving right away saying, I know a whole bunch of algorithms, give me some data and I will put it together. You torture the data with enough brute force algorithms, it will tell you something, right? And then that something, it becomes a business outcome. But one needs to understand why it is saying what it is saying. And how did it arrive at those things? And does it make a relevance to the business problem you're solving or not? I also find a lot, and I wrote a few blogs about it in the recent past, is there are too many modules, too many algorithms, too many models at development situation, or at best at a pilot or a POC. Very few actually see the daylight of running in production and actually delivering the business outcomes. And the reason for that is the development world and the production world are the two different animals, if you may. So the transition from dev to prod with the right amount of machine learning ops behind it, those things are very, very critical to make a business sustainable, and the ROIs are measurable, and it actually does what it does. So that's how the evolution has happened, but there are still some gaps. Coming to India, I think globally, yes, the global markets are much more matured, advanced, and much more experimentation oriented. So you will find a lot more things going on, but India is also not far behind. And over the last 5 years, what I'm seeing, we are solving some very, very interesting problem sets for the India market. And whether it is government, whether it is private, whether it is the public sector organizations, including even agriculture, railways, and a lot of these public utility sectors are experimenting a lot in India. And these problems are much more harder given the way India is set up, the quality of data, the ability to use the platforms and invest on the platforms and all that. These are very, very hard problems compared to even the global problem sets that we deal with. So I'm very excited, very positive about the evolution as well as how India is going to shape up in the next 4 or 5 years.
Correct, Shom. It would definitely be very interesting, especially after the COVID pandemic, with the innovation that we can see in the current era. I think it would be very interesting. This brings me to my next question for Saurabh. So, Saurabh, we know that data science as a skill it's been some time that it has come into an existence, and currently the most sought after skill set, especially for the post-COVID world. If you can share your insights on what are the extent of careers available in this field, and how is Tredence positioned for the same?
A very important question here, because I'll take a leaf from what Shom just said, that not only from a geographic footprint perspective, data science is expanding. The sophistication as well in data science is from what it started to what it has come to has kind of increased. So the extent of careers is absolutely very, very big. With millions of worldwide job openings in big data, the role of a data scientist has become the hottest job of the decade, actually. In today's database world, companies are using insights and data scientists to provide, or let's just say to scientists to stay one step ahead of their competition with keeping overhead costs low. So, you take any big name like Oracle, Apple, Microsoft, Booz Allen, Walmart, they are all regularly having postings for data scientists. According to LinkedIn, I was reading the last, a couple of days ago, there are almost 57,000 jobs of data scientists available worldwide. And in the last 2 years, 2019, 2020, it has been seen as the most promising career, has ranked as one of the top 50 jobs in the United States as well. So to that extent, you can imagine the kind of opportunity that is available. And we all know that some of the common jobs titles for data scientists like business intelligence analyst, data mining engineer, data architect, data scientist, senior data scientist, various kind of roles, and we can go into deep into what each one of them does. But with respect to time here, I would I would say that having known that data science is just one word, there are multiple careers around it, and you have to use various kind of skills and technologies, Tableau, Hadoop, R, SAS, Python, machine learning, all of those things that come inside it gives you a very, very wide platform, and you can enter from various angles and then proceed into the data science world. And for an aspiring data sciences professional, Tredence offers a multitude of roles, learning platforms, and opportunities to build the career. We are growing at a CAGR of 50% and expanding data engineering, supply chain, customer excellence, solution support, product engineering practices, and even retail, consumer products, industrial, telecom, media and technology, healthcare, and hospitality verticals. So both domain as well as centers of excellence is where we are expanding, and we are looking for the kind of right profiles for each of those opportunities. Business analysts, analytics consultants, data engineers, data scientists, data architects. Some here are the roles we regularly look for. But I just want to say that at this stage, we find ourselves to be absolutely rightly placed to offer a great career and a big opportunity to people who are interested in data sciences career. And we have a wide variety of roles as well.
That's really great to know, Saurabh. So, Shom, if you can add on to this, like if you can share what is Tredence currently focusing on in terms of its innovation and latest offerings? Like we can hear about Tredence Studio, if you can talk about that a little bit and how it is inducting customers into its ecosystem.
Yeah, before I go to studio, there are several things as a very different, I would say, approach we have taken, and it is not just yesterday we took, but it is very sustainable interventions that we have done over the last 15 months, right? Despite of COVID. In fact, COVID actually created a very wonderful opportunity for us to look within and figure out that what are those differentiated capabilities that we want to actually build and be ready for the market. So several things we did. First is we established Innovation Council. And this is where our business leaders, practice leaders, and our SMEs come together to look into various functional, domain-centric, industry-centric solutions that needs to be harvested or harmonized or even built from zero, right? A few examples would be supply chain control tower, right? Or test and learning platform for campaign management end to end, or a customer journey explorer, right? Where you look at the customer data platforms, the various customer journeys and touch points and bring them together to create a newer and unique way of understanding the customers for any client. Yeah. These are functional domain-centric capabilities and solutions that we started focusing on. The second thing that we did is also looked into our practices, and Saurabh talked about data engineering and IoT-enabled services and solutions. We are solution support or managed services is another area on cloud ops and cloud management, and the problem statement I was talking earlier about, which is too many models in the development but very less in production. So how do we create a MLOps type of a platform that will help the data scientists, the business owners, as well as the IT leaders of the clients to understand at a real time how their models are performing vis-a-vis a business mandate, right? So this came into this Innovation Council as how do we look at solutions and go to market, not as just a services company with rate cards and people, right? And how do we embed more powerful solutions that can automate, that can do things faster, that can actually give the edge to the customers. That is number one that we did, and we continue to invest in that area. While we were doing that, we also took a bet into all of our people, right? Whether you're a developer or a lead data scientist or a technology lead or a project manager or a domain SME, doesn't matter. How do we create smaller teams and give them this entrepreneurism mandate that here is an idea and you are a team, now you design, you develop, and you create this solution. So that journey actually is much more important than just the idea generation, because now what it did, it enabled a lot of people to understand what does a business problem really mean? How would you validate the value of that, right? And they were talking to clients for these ideas and, hey, if something like this comes out, will it be beneficial to you or not? And they went into the design aspect, the user persona designs and the end user consumption models. What would be the pricing model for this? So in fact, each one of these teams actually went through a complete startup life cycle. And that journey, that experience is much more important than anything else in my view. All of these, and and there are many more solutions in the making right now as we speak, find their home as Tredence Studio. And Tredence Studio is a full stack platform. It is a Tredence showpiece as a marketplace, if you may. which has got lots of these solutions and accelerators organized by vertical or by practices, if you imagine kind of a palette now. And we introduce that to our clients for co-innovation, co-development workshops. So many times the clients come in and they say, hey, here is how I have a problem statement with your design thinking, with your capabilities, the tool, studio, and these pod-like structures. Can you guys start working on it? Let's do a co-innovation on it, right? And that is becoming very, very interesting for our clients, because it is, like I said, it is not just about a SOW, a project, a life cycle, people, and you just keep on doing that work. This is far more, I would say, breakaway type of work. This is innovation. This is technology at the cutting edge. This is experimentation at you cannot imagine the number of models, algorithms, types of things people try to get things delivered and developed quickly. And this ability to develop something which is your idea and you take it to market, right? That's the storytelling, that's the entrepreneurism. Now, in the beginning, you asked me a question, how data science has evolved as a career or as a job description in a loosely worded way. This is what is the real data science, right? So that's how we are doing innovation and Tredence Studio and clients and all that.
Correct. So, stemming from what you just mentioned, we also hear the importance of democratization of AI and machine innovation. Where is Tredence Studio positioned in this? How it is helping its customers, or creating a marketplace or an innovation platform?
Well, we are at the beginning, I would say blocks of it. So there is still a lot to learn and improve and unlearn, most importantly. What we have seen so far is that many times the clients also don't know what they don't know. So there may be problem statements in bits and pieces. There may be process inefficiencies in bits and pieces. People have both at the client end and even at our end as well, people might have expertise in certain areas, but nobody has understood the bigger picture, the right kind of a formulation of the problem statement to begin with. With Tredence Studio, what we are seeing is a couple of things. One, it is like a platform where you come in with your set of problem statements. They may be interlinked, they may not be. And we apply design thinking, humanization of AI kind of a framework that is our own framework that we have developed. We engage our domain SMEs, vertical champions and practice champions, AI COE in there, and we spend a lot of time to formulate it, and the clients participate as well. And that kind of is the democratization in my view. And you're opening it up as opposed to being a very straitjacket that you ask for X and I will do X and I will deliver you to X. And in a true sense, that X may not be the real problem the client is trying to solve. Yeah. So this is helping us to democratize AI problem solving to a large extent. The second thing is about ability to take data, disparate data which is not even seemingly connected, not only from the client's own internal ecosystem, but external set of data that we time to time we procure as Tredence to enrich, to extend the richness of the data. That we do on the platform, on the studio platform as well. So at one end, and you can ask any data scientist, the first problem they will say, I can solve the problem, but you have to show me where the data is. And the data has to be the right quality and with the right amount of richness, and the volume of the data should be good enough or not enough. So that is how we are democratizing the data side. We are democratizing the AI problem solving side. And the studio is a full stack engineering platform. It has got lots of tools and techniques embedded in that, which helps people to apply those techniques to solve these kind of problems quickly.
Correct. So coming back to Saurabh again, like what Som mentioned, we would like to understand, in order to complement these aspirations, how is Tredence, building a conducive environment, for its employees, or how it is building a talent ecosystem for its employees? Sort of, if you can share insights.
Sure. As Shom mentioned, we started the journey around 15 months ago, and a lot has been done and a lot still needs to be done. But I would like to underline that innovation for Tredence is a culture and will even deeply embed itself into its veins as the way of life. Okay. We are building a cohort of researchers, statisticians, business analysts, behavioral scientists, and data scientists to help customers solve, as Shom said, multidimensional business problems. Okay. So Trident Studio, our enterprise innovation platform, is enabling our employees to explore new age technologies and build solutions for customers, which is giving them a big opportunity to explore innovation in a way that is real business and real problem solving. But having said that, we encourage innovation in every aspect of the organization. Okay, so in all functions, in all practices and business units, we believe there is no limit to innovation. An idea can be big or small, but as long as the idea makes an impact, improves the existing way of working, then we encourage it. And that's the kind of environment we want to provide to our people at all points in time. And Shom said, our Tredence Studio is an idea generation factory. We have a bright idea platform on which we encourage all employees to showcase their ideas, obtain funding, and develop these ideas into disruptive products and solutions. In fact, just to give you a little more detail, I am a part of this whole process. So I can say that the ideas so submitted are very duly evaluated by leaders, and those that are contextual and impactful are taken ahead. The teams or the individuals who generates the idea is then guided to work upon it, improve it, take it from the idea stage to the design stage and further to the execution stage. So there is hand holding, there is guidance, and leaders invest their time. Senior executives devote a lot of time evaluating, building, and supporting the idea. And their constant guidance and time investment helps the idea team as well as underlines the importance of innovation in Tredence, because that time investment from senior executives sends a very clear message that this is serious business for us. So in a way, what I'm trying to say is our ecosystem is all set up to support our talent to grow and develop and fulfill their career ambitions. And we encourage learning and growth and provide ample opportunities to our people through such variety of experiences in different projects within different practices as well as business units, along with helping them innovate, taking new ideas, bringing out of the box ideas. Having said that, of course, one thing that we are also encouraging a lot is job rotation, which we believe is a key to learning and growth. And while we do give a lot of technical and behavioral skill inputs, which is done by our L&D teams, we believe that on-the-job learning is the most important way of learning. So we encourage a lot of job rotations as well. So just to sum up, what I'm trying to say is there is an innovation ecosystem, that engine is working. We're encouraging our employees to learn and grow. While that is happening, we are also on the job giving them on the job rotations. We're giving them skill-based learning. We're giving them behavioral learning. And in a way, senior leadership of the company is continuously involved in this development process, which therefore is underlining the importance of innovation, learning, and growth in the organization.
I think, Sajoti, if I may add one more point to what Saurabh just said. Look, as a company, we are a young company, okay, and at the same time, we are a very aggressive company. We also are a versatile company. Now, when you have this potent mix of these three kind of dimensions coming together, I firmly believe, and we subscribe to that principle in our everyday proceedings is sosin. It's a Japanese term. It is called sosin. What it means is in an expert's mind, the possibilities are very limited because your mind is so trained and so narrowly looking into problems or things, whether client or company specific, and you will quickly jump into that kind of approach, and hence the possibilities are limited. But for a beginner's mind, you're not carrying any baggage, you're in a continuous learning phase, and hence the possibilities are limitless. So we are a beginner company with a expertise, transposed on top of it. And we would like to bring in entrepreneurism, experimentation, continuous learning all the time. So that's exactly what Saurabh was summarizing on. This is not only for a selected few, this is for everybody in the company.
Yeah.
Correct, Som, and very. It's a really great observation that you said that an experienced it would be. It's difficult to unlearn and relearn something. However, for a beginner, it's an open. It's an open. It's like an empty sheet where you can put your thoughts into it and train the way you want. So very rightly mentioned, Som. So I'm taking a step back. You mentioned the MLOps aspect. So we understand that currently data and analytics leader, understand the importance of data ops, ML ops, or AI ops, and it is gaining quite a bit of a momentum right now. However, majority of the businesses usually struggle to get such programs off the ground. So how is Tredence addressing this challenge?
Look, so what we have seen.
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, Vishik.
Look, what we are seeing, and what we are observing as well is that there is a very glamorous, glittering world of problem solving, right? And everybody wants to get in there. The current technology evolutions and the compute power, the cloud's pervasiveness, and all of that is making this development world very easy to jump in and then start experimenting, start getting your hands dirty, and then somewhere we probably lost the track a little bit from the older days of the right methodology of doing data science, right? We kind of shortcut many areas and then we straight away jump into, hey, let me develop, because that's the glittering, that's the glamorous thing of it. And I myself, I'm a data scientist, so my fellow scientists will also agree with me that our bragging right is, hey, I developed 200 models, or somebody has developed 1,000 models and is actually well versed with the 20 algorithm libraries and packages. Yeah, that is how we get our bragging rights as well. But what happened in this process is the development world is still a controlled world. You know what data you are dealing with. You know what is the kind of algorithms you have put in. You know what is the pilot outputs, the controlled outputs that you have got, and you've got a business sign off and all. But then as you take it to production, the all hell breaks loose because it's a very different environment. It is highly unpredictable. It has got an ecosystem of competing resources, competing priorities around. So what we developed in the dev world, applying certain techniques, whether it is DevOps, data ops, and CI/CDs, and all that, and we felt good about it, is not the same as in production. So this discipline of packaging it, deploying it, and building something, even while you are developing for performance and scale, is very, very important, right? When we build something in today's world, We actually build it for precision and accuracy. We don't build it for performance and scale. Yeah, but the world on the other side demands precision and accuracy and performance and scale and explainability and drift, right? And if things break, I need to know right now. I can't wait. I will give you an example for one of our clients, and the numbers I'm quoting is very staggering, mammoth numbers. 14-country rollout. It's a trade promotion, effectiveness, and optimization kind of a very critical business solution, as you can imagine. 12,000 models in production, right? And of course, you can challenge me saying, hey, it is impossible. Well, I'm not dramatizing. It is 12,000 models. There will be variations of the master model, maybe 200 times, 300 times, but altogether it is 12,000 models. There are 5,000 users, active users on it every single day and globally spread out. Real-time evaluation, real-time monitoring, whether the performance is degrading, whether the drift is being noted. Certain decision making has to happen real time, and hence I need to know why it made that decision, what it made. All that becomes very, very, very critical. So, and that is what we solved for a client. You can imagine a business impact of 50 million plus, in terms of the savings and course corrections. So this world, I would say, purely coming from a development world to real business problem solving in life, right? This is what is the transition everybody needs to do. Everybody needs to think about it. So you need the right tools and technologies, but not only data science skills and data engineering skills, all that, but you should also have a few contrarian guys in your team who will challenge every single time, hey, this is not good, right? And it's a constructive criticism that needs to happen within the team as well. So all of this is important in my view.
Correct. Correct. Very well said, Shom. So, Saurabh, let's now talk about the hiring aspect of Tredence. For the coming year, or this year and the coming year, how the company is looking to recruit talents. Also, what are these primary data science roles that Tredence is currently offering?
Thanks for asking that question. So let me start by extending an invitation to all our aspiring data scientists who are listening to this webinar, and all those who would possibly be interested in a career. Here's an invitation from Tredence to you. Come explore with us, join us. We are hiring, and we are hiring in a significant sort of a way. So this is a very, very interesting phase for us. As part of our growth strategy, I told you we are, our CAGR is 50% growth, so we are definitely expanding. We are getting more growth. We are expanding our geographic footprint in India itself. We are opening various offices, Gurgaon, Chennai. We have presence in Bangalore. We have plans for other offices as well. We are internationally expanding. We opened an office in Canada, now Europe, China, and we have plans for other countries as well. We already are present in multiple locations in US. So our plan, just to give you a number, is to hire almost 700 employees in the 2021 across markets, and that we are well on our way of executing that plan. But of course, we are looking for talent, and our hiring strategy, like any aspiring organization, we are looking for the best of the talents who we can bring in, and as shown very beautifully presented, clean sheets of paper, or maybe a little more experienced, and then we can shape them and give them opportunities which are relevant to them, which excite them, and which make them feel that they're doing some good work. For example, in data science, I was talking to some colleagues, statistical modeling, deep algorithms in Python, neural networks, TensorFlow, the words, the most advanced data engineering. There's cloud native capability, PySpark, Scala, building scalable data engineering pipeline, expertise across clouds, various things that we are doing, which is going to give you a very, very enriched career. Okay, and this wide variety of enriched career helps us to position our organization or Tredence as one of the most exciting, young and exciting place to come and work. Okay, and our approach to this is that we expand our practices, business units. We look for, as I said, data engineering, supply chain, customer excellence, solution support kind of professionals in those areas. We also look for domain experts in retail, consumer products, industrials, etc., etc. So we are looking for individuals who have variety of interest, variety of skills, and they want to do deep work as far as data sciences is concerned. So in my opinion, I will conclude by saying that for aspiring data sciences professional, Tredence offers a multitude of roles, learning platforms. It's a valuable opportunity to build your career, and at this point in time, we are growing, we are expanding, we have a very, very positive forecast for our future, and we would love to invite people to come and join us and work with us.
That's a great news, Saurabh, and a great opportunity for the aspirants of the industry. If you could also tell us, how does Tredence people development program stand out among its competitors like Mu Sigma, Tiger Analytics, or Fractal, any of them?
Sure. I mean, look, more than comparing ourselves to our competitors, we believe in setting the standards in people development. I mean, Frank, with all due respect, all of the organizations you named are great organizations. They are having their own people development program, but ours is an belief that what is called employee first initiatives. So we believe employees are our strongest assets. They actually in the last year turned a very uncertain year to one of the brightest years for Tredence. And purely something that was 2020, the way it was going to where we ended up was purely because we had a very strong asset, which is our employees. So as we grow, we want to provide exciting career opportunities to our employees and enable them to grow along with us. So there is in our people development program, let me give an example. We have a you learn we pay policy, which encourages unrestricted learning as our people freely upgrade their skill set. People would be interested in a certain skill set, we encourage them to learn, and we pay for their development of skill sets. We have a program called Everest program where we coach and mentor our young leaders for tomorrow's challenges. It's almost like a very long-term intervention. It's a mini MBA program, so we are preparing engineers into understanding the whole world of business, whole world of what's going to happen tomorrow, and preparing them to be ready as business managers going forward. Okay. While doing all this, we are also, I mean, while you may not like it to call it a direct people development, but we believe that while you are learning, you should also do other things which enhance your personality. So we, for example, in this COVID time, we created a COVID task force of 50 plus our volunteers, and we gave them, we made them dedicatedly support our people, and that gave them another facet of development, which is social responsibility, which is about being for the team, taking one for the team, giving one for the team, kind of a thing. We also, coming back from there, I mean, we also gave them certain well-being initiatives. So we started by silent hours. We said Friday no meeting zones. We created an employee assistance program. So you are getting an opportunity to learn, and you're also getting an opportunity to find time and space to learn, and also, be concerned about others' well-being as well as your well-being. Coming back, but what happens if you are in a project for a while? So we have an active project change policy, which is constantly working to attract our people on new projects, on tailored chosen career tracks. We have a deep generalist track program wherein we are implementing, we are helping people understand what are the various career tracks they can take, and accordingly choose the kind of projects they want to work in, the kind of skills they want to kind of take up. Having said that, onshore, offshore is available, international opportunities in many markets, United States, Canada, and Europe. We consistently send our people to, on-site opportunities, and that kind of broadens them up as well. So all in all, our people development program, I will call, is a holistic initiative of making sure that people learn, people grow, they follow the path of career that they have chosen for themselves, and we provide them opportunities to learn, and we prepare them for future as well. So in a way, what we take into what we produce through the pipeline is a far enriched, enabled, and employable professional for the future.
That's great, Saurabh. I mean, I think it's a personal and a professional development for the employee. All the initiatives that you just mentioned. So, knowing a bit, to understand a bit more about Tredence, Shom, if we know that the company has recently secured 30 million dollar fund from the private equity firms. We would like to understand, where is the company is looking to invest these funds?
Okay. I may not be able to tell you and the audience a lot of details, but I will try my best to paint a picture of what are we going to do with this 30 million, and how are we going to prepare for our future, right? And in the next 4-year, 5-year, 10-year, what is the game plan? Tredence went through a bit of a reorganization, right? And we were earlier always around, there's a client, there's an account, there's a project, and people are aligned to that. That is how we used to be. Yes, there has a lot of positives associated. You become client-centric, you become very responsive, and you become very nimble. So you can do many wonderful things for the client in that context. But then we realized that as we do from project to project to project, we are not bringing the power of all of these learnings together. So as part of our reorganization, we established verticals, which are very industry centered. So we created retail, we created CPG, industrial manufacturing, tech, media, and telecom. Healthcare is a new vertical that we are incubating this year. And that is how we wanted to become closer to the industry, be a thought leader in that particular industry segment, bring the best of all the clients within that industry as the learning and advisory services to our clients, right? So that was one investment area reorganization that we did. And it is showing tremendous potential in our top line momentum that we see. We realize that these verticals, as they are much more zoomed into the client and the market and the industry and the delivery of the projects, they need the power horses as well to support them in their growth journey. And that we created the practices which are horizontals. And this is where we are investing a lot on data engineering as a practice. AI COE is a very, very core element for us to what we do and the unique problems that we solve. Supply chain management is another one. I was talking about industrial IoT earlier. We took customer analytics and actually gave it a very new shape, very new imperative, which is customer experience management. And that's another practice that where we are investing a lot. Our managed services and solution support practice is emerging, so we are investing there. And our alliance and platform relationship. Besides the whole thing about innovation, which continues to be the focus area and will continue to invest. Now, Saurabh talked about many of these centers that we are opening up, and we are expanding our leadership as well, because We need those leaders as market makers, as thought leaders to come in and stabilize and then put us on the growth momentum, which is sustainable. We are also investing quite a lot in the functional competencies. This is domain, which is, the context behind data is very, very important to solve any kind of data science problem. And the context comes with the process knowledge and the domain knowledge about the industry and the businesses. So that's where we are investing quite a lot now. The other factor is a lot is going into learning and development. The trainings, the certifications, whether it is technology or business analytics as an area, we are investing quite a lot there so that we continue to stay as a learning organization.
Correct. So we are close to the end of our questions, but I mean, as I have introduced Tredence during the initial part of the session as a dark horse of the AI industry, why do you think Forrester has termed Tredence as the dark horse of the AI industry? Or if you can tell us what is the secret sauce Tredence is currently brewing on, to build the future of the analytics industry?
Okay. Look, it was a fascinating journey with Forrester. The conversations, the due diligence, the tough grilling and questioning that we went through. Okay, but a few things stood out in my view. One is, do we have a method to the madness? Meaning, everybody is a data scientist in today's world. People learn few things and then they claim data scientists. Everybody has got a way of solving problems, and everybody has got an enviable list of clientele, and they do projects. So what is so different here? That I call the method to the madness. We have got a framework that we apply every single time for every single problem solving. It is humanizing AI. This is where our problem solving starts with user personas, designs. We actually ask a lot more questions upfront that why do you need this solution? As opposed to, yeah, we are happy, right? This is a problem. We will build the solution. You pay us money. Everybody's happy. We actually spend upfront a lot of time doing workshops and debating with the client that, why do you need this solution, for whom, for what kind of outcomes? How would you measure it? How would you implement it? How would you monitor it? And how would you execute it? That's what is the humanizing AI is all about. The second part in the framework is solutionizing AI. This is where Tredence Studio comes in. This is where a lot of our vertical and practices, SMEs come in. A lot of the solutions that we have built, that helps us to reimagine the problems to be solved in a much better way, much different way. And finally, in contrast to many of our illustrious friends and peers as companies, we don't stop at developing the solution and handing it over. We actually keep asking that how this will be deployed, who is going to really use it. This is where our last mile adoption focus comes in. We want to make an impact to the end user or the business or the process. And this is where operationalizing AI as a framework that comes in. So this framework was the aha moment, I would say, in my view. The second is, Saurabh talked a lot about it, is our learning and development, our continuous learning kind of interventions that we do. And the third thing is innovation as a culture. So while Forrester said the dark horse of AI, something like that, there was actually another quote that we did not popularize a lot, is Tredence is punching way above their weight.
Okay. But I think it's rightly suits the company and the trajectory it is currently growing on. So this brings us to the next section of the fireside chat, that is the rapid fire questions. We have gone through very serious understanding of how Tredence is hiring, what are the innovations, growth that we are that currently Tredence is working on. But now we're going to move on to understanding a little bit of Shom and Saurabh personally. So I hope you guys are ready.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, great. So, Som, you have written several books, and Saurabh, we believe you have a great interest in poetry. So, please tell us, what are you guys writing about? What is your next book all about? Shom, let's start with you, and then please Saurabh join in.
Right now, I'm focused on research and putting my thoughts together for my next book, which is about AI first enterprise. And what does this really mean? It is not just about the tech or the skills part of it. It is also about problem solving. It is about the real organizational construct one needs to do if an enterprise has to become AI first. And the framework that I talked about. It is going to get much more exciting and deeper into the framework that I talked about just now.
Okay, Saurabh, what about you?
Well, as you said, I am a poet. I've written 2 books on poetry, one in English, one in my native language, Hindi. So my next subject is about harmony. Very different from anything to do with AI. I have a firm belief that being in harmony increases the sense of well-being. So I'm writing about a book called In Pursuit of Harmony, which is essentially about how being in harmony but having excessive positive or negative emotions creates a sense of well-being. And in that, of course, the contextual thing is that I will also talk about how our technology should ultimately work towards making our world more harmonious. So that's where I am currently. It's not a subject-oriented book. It's more about well-being and state of mind.
Okay, that would be really great. I mean, I'm really excited for both the books. So please let us know when it comes out, and we will be happy to, read about it. Uh, my next question: one fictional character that you will relate Tredence with. So, Som, please take your call, and then Saurabh.
Well, this is a tougher one. I would let's remove the word fictional, but let's put the character. If we can zoom in into that. There are several characters kind of popping up in my mind as I'm responding to this question. Look, Tredence is a young, versatile, dynamic, and arrogant company, right? We deserve to have a little bit of arrogance as well. We are punching above our weight anyway. So, in that context, the characters played by the Tamilian actor Dhanush, people, audience who have, signed in, belongs to the, Tamilian kind of a background, you will relate the actor name that I'm referring to. Very recently, I watched this movie called, sorry if I'm spelling it wrong. I'm not a Tamil guy, right? I'm a Uriya guy. But it is called something Karnan, something like that. I recently watched it. Fantastic play, right? It is young, restless, want to conquer the world, versatile, talent is there, bit of arrogance, a lot of confidence, and go and take on the world. That is what Tredence is all about.
It sounds brilliant. I mean, I'm really a fan of Dhanush, so that sounds really cool. Saurabh, what about you?
Well, Shom's response has taken a certain chunk of my own thinking away. So now, but one of the things and an interesting thing, a character that is consistently popping in my head, and let me go with that, is is Princess Moana. It was a 2016 animation classic called Moana, and there's this young, adventurous, driven, focused, value-based princess who kind of goes out into the unknown in search of of some things, and I find Credence as male as female. I mean, it's not just testosterone, and it's not just all man and all the man's world. It also has a very strong feminine side to itself, and it is also an organization which essentially uh, has the virtue of being that very focused, driven, value based princess as Moana was, and in a way, as Shom said, small in size but packs a big punch. That's what Moana was. That's what Tredence is. So uh, yeah, I mean, I will go with Moana.
Very rightly chosen, Saurabh. I mean, very adventurous and rebellious princess. So that goes well with Tredence. So two nice, very well picked characters by both of you guys. Okay, so this time we'll go with Saurabh. So be ready, Saurabh. If you have to direct a Netflix series about AI industry, what will it be about? What will you call it?
Hmm. Okay, the if I get that funding and if Netflix invites me, I think uh, it will be yeah, it will be something not set in not so distant future, but definitely you know uh, a comedy which is set in not so distant future. Maybe we'll call it intelligent choices. So the idea that's in my mind to your question is there is a world which today is existing, which essentially is using AI for making choices, and those choices are around products and services and decisions and businesses and so on and so forth. Uh, what if AI at some point in time, along with nanotechnologies, starts help us making our life choices? And maybe think about people using AI to decide what school to go, what subjects to study, what careers to pursue, even personal relations like selection of your partner or a spouse. If you start getting big, if you use data in a way that it starts to not come in a way that it comes to your intelligent world, which is your personal world. So some comedy around it, which I will call intelligent choices. It will be a series that will highlight how AI is all set to be an integral part of our lives, but do it in a comical way, in a fun sort of.
Yeah, it sounds very satirical though, but it's interesting. The comic version of it.
Yeah,
Saurabh, yes, please, Saurabh.
I said comical. I meant satirical actually. So it will be a satire.
Correct. Soumendra, what about you? What will you call your Netflix AI series?
Well, I I really loved it when I saw Family Man, the season one. I'm sure many of you have watched it. And now Family Man 2 is going to come out, I think June 4th, just a few days from now. I really appreciate the character Shrikant, played by Manoj Bajpayee there, and his assistant. Today it is played by a man. I would like to have a AI agent play that role, and this would be, and I'm very intrigued that now AI becoming pervasive in our personal life, in professional life as well, everywhere. And 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I don't know, we can do anything without AI intervening somewhere or playing a role. So I'm very intrigued about this man and machine coming together and becoming the next workforce, right? And imagine in corporates and everywhere else, you will find a man and a machine together doing the job tasks or strategies or leadership or whatever it is. So when you take that kind of a context, and from the trailers, what I have seen, uh, Manoj Bajpayee has gone into a corporate office, joined as some kind of a programmer, developer, or whatever, data scientist maybe. I've not really understood it. But the manager keeps always coming back and saying, don't be a minimum guy. Okay? So, and it's very relevant to all of us, right? As we are going through our work from home and all sorts of stuff that is going around us. So I would like to recast that film with don't be a minimum guy, but here it is a man and machine coming together and playing that kind of a role. It will be fun. It will be frustrating. It will be adventurous, action packed. Yeah.
So the machine is truly going to help in decision making, like we call it, like for solving crimes or for the corporate decisions. So yeah, it would be interesting to see that as well.
Including the family run-ins.
Including the family running. Yeah, we need decision making there as well. Okay, one more, next question. Saurabh, what is that one important lesson you learned while leading your team? First, Saurabh, you can start, and then Soumendra, you can join.
Oh yeah, that's an easy one for me. I mean, all my life I have believed this very strongly that various kind of lessons and theories are there, but first and foremost and the most important is to treat your teams humanly. If you are a leader, your first and most important responsibility is to treat people with respect, humanely. What you don't want to be done to you, you should not do to you. The belief is not just an umbrella statement or a motherhood statement. It comes from serious hands-on practical life experiences, wherein I have seen that if I can get the hearts of my teams together, their minds or their heads will automatically come together and they will produce exceptional outcomes and results. So we are human beings. How much ever we talk rationally, we are connected by heart, we are emotional, and therefore if you want to build a strong team, treat them humanely, get them together, connect them through their hearts, you will see automatically they will deliver wonders. They will produce if I can say, a huge discretionary outcome for you, which you will not even be expecting. So that's my view very clearly.
Very, very nice. Rightly pointed out, Saurabh. Soumendra, what about you?
Well, in my career so far, the thing that as a personal philosophy I have practiced, and I'm very serious about it every single day, is the leader is the most helpless guy in the team. It may sound very contrary, but the leader is in such a position that the guy can't code, the guy can't develop anything, the guy can't figure out a jugaad thing on the way. The guy can't do anything on his or her own. So the most helpless person is the leader, and hence you are a leader because you have a team, and the team makes you successful. So yes, respect for the individual and then all that needs to be in place. But importantly, and most importantly, it is about the team and always about the team. As you come in as a leader, you need to be day one is that you are going to leave the legacy behind someday. It may be tomorrow, it may be 3 months from now, it may be 1 year from now. And in my journey, I have changed so many roles. This has become a fundamental practice for me. Start preparing your team from day one to take over from you. You need to become redundant. Yes, you need to be there when they falter, and when the success comes, you need to take a back seat. The team has to be up front.
I think that's the key to a good leader. I mean, very nicely said, Sean. Okay, so this is my last question on the rapid fire, and then we'll quickly delve into the audience questions. So, Soumendra, what is that one thing that makes you so passionate about your work? Same goes for you, Saurabh. So Soumendra, please start.
Well, again, the habits that I make, I will not prescribe everybody to make the same habit. It worked for me. It may not for you. There's a bit of a disclaimer, but I get excited every single day when I meet a client or I talk to a client and understand what problems they're going through. When I meet my team and understand what are the challenges and roadblocks on the way and how I can help solve those things. And also a continuous learning for myself. Every single day throughout my career and here at Tredence as well, every single day is a new day with a new set of problems, new set of challenges, new set of things to look into and do. That's what keeps me on my toes, and that's what I'm passionate about.
Saurabh, what about you?
For me, I think my background itself kind of set it for me. I am a trained psychologist. I studied psychology. I am a human resources professional. So working with people is the most passionate thing for me. I mean, I find that my ability to work with people to develop solutions as a human resources professional and a leader that can unlock value for the company, for the organization, and also unlock value or create value for the employees, for the people who are there, is my singular passion. So how do you create processes, practices, solutions? How do you work with people that while the organization grows, while the organization finds solutions, its human resources assets, its human resources also kind of find great value unlocked for them, be it learning and development, be it pay, compensation, one thing, but learning, growth, development, enriching experience. And the most important thing that I believe an organization can do for its people is it's not to just enrich their careers in the organization, but to make them employable forever, so that even if they get out of the organization, they remember the organization as the place from where they learned the skills that made them employable. So that's the passion. That's the passion of working with people, unlocking value for people while we are unlocking problem solving in our organization as well.
Okay, brilliantly said by Chaum and Saurabh, both of you. And it was a wonderful discussion to understand what Tredence is up to, how they are hiring, what are the unconventional approaches that you guys are currently working on. And great to have both of you. But we will. There are a lot of questions that we are overflowing on our Q&A tab. So we will quickly get onto them, if that's all right with you guys.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. So let's take the first one. Faraz Khan is asking, I'm an assistant manager working at L&T. I want to ask that if companies hire applicants for data scientist role who are trying to get a transition into this domain. I think, Saurabh, you could.
Yeah, I think let's start by saying that if you have the aptitude and if you have the inclination and you have some amount of experience, you have the possibility to be hired. Now, what role, which position, etc., that's to be seen, but to that extent, a very general common response I'll give to Fraz is that yes, you are someone who would possibly should be interested and hone your skills, get your certifications if there are some required. Otherwise, you can definitely aspire to be in a data sciences role. Shom, you want to build on that?
No, perfect. Yep.
Okay, we have two questions back to back on freshers applying for Tredence. So Niren is asking, very, very new to data science, can I apply? I hold a BTech degree from IT BHU. Similarly, Rishabh is also asking how to enter Tredence as a fresher.
So Tredence has a very, very strong campus hiring policy and program. We we are, as we speak, we are hiring analysts in a large number in the organization. We are, and those people who we are hiring are fresh engineering pass outs. Okay? And if you are from ITPHU or any one of the, uh, I won't call them premium, but of institutes of recognition, then you definitely can apply. Uh, if you have not found, if we generally reach out to the campus and ask for applications, but if suppose you have not had a chance and your institute has not been covered for some reason, you can directly, now you know me, you can write to me and I'll definitely get you in touch with the right people in the organization. But uh, there is you all are very much welcome to apply to Tredence, even if you are fresher passing out of the engineering college. And let me add to that, it is our responsibility to prepare you for a data sciences career, which we will do once you join us through a very, very sophisticated training program, if I can call it.
Correct. Okay, Megha is asking, hi, I'm having experience in software testing around 10 years. Also, I have a strong mathematical background and a coding background. So I would like to switch my career from testing to data analysts. Can you please advise me for the same? Saurabh, again, please take this up.
Well, my advice to you would be to be very clear around why, what is the reason that you want to make that change, because you are 10-year experience, you're not a fresher, so you're making a change with certain objectives. So first and foremost, be clear around that objectives. Then of course, there are various variety of ways in which you can make that approach, but you will have to definitely build certain experience, domain experience, build certain technical experience to be able to make the switch. And that you could do within by pursuing certain learning models, certain skill programs, etc., certain certifications. But in my opinion, uh, even if you are interested, we can definitely look at your profile and see what is it that you have done, and find in our kind of environment what is the best place where we can fit you in. So if and what will it take to fit you in? So to that extent, there has to be in both aptitude and skill and attitude. So you have to look at all those aspects. But three things, just to paraphrase what I said: be very sure when you are an experienced professional as to why you're making a switch, and if you're making a switch, then what technically it will take you to make that switch. And then of course, reach out to organizations like us who can guide you in more detail in terms of what should you be doing.
Correct. Okay, we are a little past the time, but we will take a few questions before we wrap up the session. So the next one is from Franco. He's asking, I'm starting to learn data science and analytics and all that comes within. And I would like to ask you, what would have been the good advice at the start of your careers? So I think, Soumendra, you want to take this up?
Yes, and I will reflect back on my own journey as well. To a large extent, and Saurabh also kept saying that, right? Your attitude and willingness to learn newer things, and having a ability to, an inclination to question, is the first and fundamental skill a data scientist must have. And it is not, again, I talked about it during our main conversations. It is not just about, do I know how to apply a regression algorithm or a decision tree or a CNN network, right? It is not about that only. And it is also not about that, can I do a data engineering, can I do a data platform and bring this data and the algorithms together? It is not just about that only. It is also about the context behind the data. It is also about experimentation, and hence asking more questions, right? Many of you probably won't know is that the world's problem that data scientists solve, at the most, they use only 10 algorithms to solve it. And there are maybe hundreds of variants of these main 10 algorithms. So, and you can Google around, you will find everybody talking about these 10 odd algorithms all the time. So it is about experimentation. It is about testing it. It is about the context behind the data, and hence you apply those things in your learning phases. That methodology is extremely important. It is not just about, hey, can I get a AWS platform and SageMaker and put all of these things together? Something will come out, and well, I'm good in SageMaker and as a data scientist. Probably, yes, you will become good at SageMaker, but you will not become good as a data scientist.
Correct. So I think that answers your question, Franco. We will take one more question and then we will wrap up the session. This is from Mahipal Singh Rawat. He's asking that he's about to retire in next 6 months at the age of 42 after taking VRS from Indian Air Force. My qualifications are MBA, PMP, and I'm about to complete an online PG diploma program in data analytics. At my age, with little corporate experience so far, where do I fit in a career in data analytics with you or at the industry at the large? Amazing question, I think. Saurabh, you both can take your...
Let me take that. First of all, I really admire and appreciate your enthusiasm and zeal at this point in time. If not anything else, we must learn from you. We must get inspired from your thinking and approach you have taken to life and career in totality. The second thing is for the experience that you are carrying, there are, like I said, data science is not just about math, right? And there was an article I was reading from HBR very recently, and I'm also pretty sure that McKinsey validated that point, is the multidimensional skills required in a data science team is also above and beyond the math and the programming and all that. Storytelling is another role that is very, very important in a data science team. The contrarian person in the team, which is challenging every single thought, every single data point, is another very, very important role there. And the translator, what they call nowadays, is between what the business is thinking and what the tech guys, the data scientists, are producing. That translator role as a bridge is very, very important in the data science scheme of things. So given your experience and you have seen the life in many different angles, why not? There will be this kind of roles where you can fit in. Of course, you need to understand what this algorithm means, what this data means, and what this data science process means. But there are possibilities there.
And I'll just add that given the fact that you are making at 42 years of age, you're making changes, that demonstrates how adaptable and flexible you are. So as long as you approach this with an open mindset and the same adaptability and flexibility in your approach, as Shom rightly said, definitely there will be opportunities, and those opportunities could be explored. And age is just a number.
Correct. So on that great note, we are here at the ending of this amazing fireside chat that we had with you guys. And we got to learn so much about the company or the industry as large. I mean, it's great to have a chat. I was greatly delighted. Thank you so much for being a part of this, Soumendra and Saurabh both.
Yeah, pleasure is ours, and we must appreciate and thank all the audience who have joined and listening through to this conversation. I hope it was interesting. It was insightful as well. Sajoti and Analytics India Mag, thanks for providing us this platform. Really appreciate it.
And I'll say ditto to what Shom just said. Thanks a lot for this opportunity, Analytics India Magazine. thank you for asking those insightful questions and providing us the opportunity to answer those questions. And to our audience, I would say that Tredence is an organization that we have now described you in full detail. I'm hopeful that many of you will be inspired, aspiring. I am here sending you an invitation that should you be interested, then we are more than happy to have you as a part of the Tredence family. So, but more than that, thank you for taking out your precious time and listening to us. And thank you once again for the opportunity.
Thank you, attendees. Thank you, Som, once more. Thank you, Saurabh, once again. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.